Hello everyone, my name is Rachel Garcia, and this is just a little detail on my life and what I've been up to since getting my undergraduate, why I want to become a teacher, and what is my take on research. Okay, so I come from a small town called San Rosario, Texas. It's between El Paso, it's between Socorro and Fabens. It's mostly known for this um, mission. It has its own little downtown district. It's pretty cute. I've mostly lived in El Paso and San Rosario my whole life. I traveled elsewhere, but I haven't really moved anywhere. I have been married for 4 years, and I currently have a 3-year-old son, and you can probably hear his cartoons in the background. As far as my educational background, um, I mostly went to elementary, middle school, and high school in San Rosario. I ended up graduating there. That's their mascot there, the San Rosario Eagles. I received my undergraduate degree at UTEP in geological sciences, and I'm trying to get my certification in science grades 7 through 12, and my master's as well. Um, that's just something I started working on, so I'm pretty new, um, but I also understand a little bit of what's going on in the classes. So, in a lot of classes that I go ahead and encounter, as far as education, they always ask you why you would want to become a teacher. Um, I would like to become a science teacher just so I feel like I can put the science back in a science class. Um, I feel like nowadays it's always mostly about um, having the students memorize facts and just spitting them back at the teacher. And it's mostly test oriented, but I would like to actually have the students become scientists themselves in a classroom, for them to learn the facts that they have to learn or pick up for an exam and learn it in a scientific inquiry way, not just simply reading from a textbook or reading from a whiteboard or a PowerPoint and for them to copy every single word down. Um, I feel like that's mostly the reason why I would like to become a teacher. But a teacher also gives me the opportunity to stay with my family more often. As a geologist, you either move a lot or you're in the field for 6 months, which really doesn't work out when you have a 3-year-old. So, I feel like teacher is something that I could also do and give back to my community as well. My method of research would be um, to go ahead and create your hypothesis, um, create, collect your data, and then go ahead and present your results. At least in geology, that's how we did it. Um, I'm not sure if education has a few more steps or it's done a little bit differently. But I feel like that's the main concept of research wherever you go, whether it's in geology or physics or education or math. I feel it's mostly based on that same outline. Um, in this picture that I'm presenting here, it's a group of my undergraduate classmates with my professor in the back. He's uh, giving us a few pointers on what we can do. We were in here, I believe we were in Colorado, up in the mountains. We were um, learning some mapping skills, and then in the end, we wrote our findings in an essay form, and we also presented our map. Um, this is probably one of the greatest time in undergraduates as a geologist because you get to spend 6 weeks out in the field, learning physically yourself what to do as a geologist, and that's something that I would like to go ahead and bring into a classroom. In this next slide are just a couple more pictures of what field camp was like. I am in the blue here, And then, let me circle me. I'm in the blue here, taking some strikes and dips in the field, actually getting my hands dirty. And I'm in the purple here, just, goofing off with a couple of friends. I believe science is all about fun. Here we actually went ahead out in the field by ourselves, with some walkie-talkies, and we took um, some measurements of the rocks, and then we ran it by our professors and by each other, compared data. Um, this is what we did in field camp as far as science. Um, we were actually out there doing what geologists do, and as far as scientists do, they go ahead and do experiments. Um, and if you're not finding like it's correct, we would go out there for a spat of a week in one spot. And if you were doubting yourself, you would go back and remeasure and try to figure out what was going on as far as the layout of the area. So in this picture, it's me and my field mate, Georgina. She's currently a master's student as a geologist as well. Um, we were arguing here in this particular picture what was actually happening in the rocks. Um, as far as on the rocks on your right, you can see some definition to them, but on the rocks on your left, there's clearly no definition. Um, we spent a couple of hours here figuring out what was going on, um, and then we came to a conclusion between each other. Um, we just had to bounce ideas back and forth from each other what could happen, and sometimes it did lead to arguments as far as what was going on. But we were still following that process of scientific inquiry and sticking to this is our hypothesis and this is what we think is going on. And these were our results at the end of the 6 weeks. Um, that was the end to my presentation. If you do have any questions about the class or in general, um, my phone number is 915-490-9019. I mostly always will text back. If you want to try and call me, I'll answer, but I'll be a little bit confused at the beginning, but it's fine. My email is also on here. I mostly always reply as quickly as I can. So if you do have any questions, you can either text me or go ahead and send me an email or maybe even both. And I'll try to reply as quickly as possible. And thank you very much, you guys. You guys have a good day. I'm excited to go ahead and tackle this class with you. And let's get through it together.